Hey everyone, in this video, we're going to take you through how to set up TikTok ads within the TikTok Ads Manager. Before we get started, here are a few key statistics that you should be paying attention to around TikTok. There's over 1.5 billion people across the world who are on TikTok and over 100 million people in the United States. The age distribution is 70% of people on TikTok in the United States are under 34 and 30% of people in the United States on TikTok are over 35, and 5.8% of the audience are over 55. In terms of ad spending, they've delivered $9 billion in ad spending in 2023, and that number is expected to grow in 2024 to $10 to $11 billion. So let's get right into setting up a TikTok campaign for your business. All right, you're going to want to go to ads.tiktok.com, and you're going to get taken to a page that looks like this. And then you're going to log in. Now, a few things. You're going to see a dashboard. And if I change the date here, you're going to see some data that shows up. This is what your platform will log in if you're actively running campaigns. You'll see campaigns, data, cost, impressions, etc. And if you want to go to campaigns, you'll see a breakout of everything that's running at a given moment, including some top line overview data. Now let's take a look at what this data shows. You're going to see total cost. You're going to see cost per 1,000 impressions, how many ads you delivered, clicks, cost per acquisition, etc. Now to set up a campaign, you got to click on create. And you have a few options here. The first is that this is your algorithm. This is what you're telling TikTok to do to grow your business. Do you want clicks to your website? Do you want video views? Do you want engagement or followers? Do you want to generate leads? Do you want website activity such as sales? What do you want to get from your advertising campaign? Or do you want to reach new individuals? So we're going to click on traffic and click on continue. We're going to name this test 1. And a few things you can do here. Number 1, you can select special categories. Special categories are important if you're doing housing, employment, or credit to ensure that your business is tagged, and it gives you special ad targeting capabilities to ensure you're not taking any discriminatory practices. And that's important across all the major social and search platforms. You can also set a campaign budget here. And let's continue. This is ad group 1, and you're telling it that you want to drive traffic to your website. You'll notice an audience size here. This is the whole United States at this point, so you can see that here. Now, a few things in terms of placement. Don't worry about this. You can either unselect here or here. Either way, you're going to serve ads on TikTok in the United States. Hey, as an aside, I recommend you target exclusively TikTok. You never know when they're going to make changes to the types of apps that you can run, so I would just automatically select TikTok. That's the safest bet here. If you have an audience already set up, you can select your audience here, and you can target by different geographic areas here. So for example, you can target by zip code, you can target by city. And so you have the city, the county, and the DMA. The DMA is larger, the county is mid-size, and city is just the city of Los Angeles. And you have these breakouts. You also have age and gender. You have language. And finally, you have household income, where you can target, for example, the top 5% of zip codes in the US, or you can target based off of spending power, which is data from TikTok. These audiences are going to be audiences off of your pixel data. For example, this is going to be people who visited the website over the last 60 days, or people who follow our TikTok account. What's valuable here is you can create lookalike models and you can exclude audiences. So for example, if you're generating sales and you don't want to sell the same product to the same people, you can exclude recent sellers, for example. So you can target off of a device, so Android or iOS. You can target by version. You can target by a device model. Typically, we keep these open, and connection type could be relevant to you as well. But again, we mostly do all connection types. And again, carriers is another breakout you have, and internet service provider. All right, so let's talk about interests in behaviors. You have videos, video interactions. So people who engage with your videos in the last with any type of category of videos in the last 15 days. So if you are interested in, let's say, sports, you can target people who are interested in all sports, or you can target people who are in extreme sports, etc. And you have these general breakouts. These are good for entertainment, or when your targeting is generally pretty broad. When you have creator interactions, you can target people based off of the types of creators that they're paying attention to. So for example, if you're selling something about fashion and beauty, you can serve ads to people who interact with fashion and beauty influencers specifically on TikTok. Or this is going to be related to hashtags. So if people are talking about Black Friday or Christmas or Halloween, you can target these people as well. And you'll notice anytime you make changes to your audience, it changes up here. Let's talk about targeting. So let's talk about business. So for example, for B2B advertisers, we can target people who are interested in business services. We provide business services, whether you're selling advertising or telephone service or banking, this would be relevant. Business and finance could be relevant as well. You have a slew of options here, and some of these are big and some of these are small. Let's do marketing. Marketing and advertising, which is relatively large, 47 million people. Digital marketing, just under 4 million people. So you set up your audience. So let's say we want to target, for this campaign, want to target people in Los Angeles County who are interested in marketing. So it looks like we're targeting 95,000 people. And what's interesting here also is you can target people based on the price of the device. I'm not going to do that. Their mobile device. So I'm not going to do that. All right, so we have 95,000 people available, and let's set our daily budget to $95. Or you can set a lifetime budget. I want to serve ads, $5,000 worth of ads from this day to this day. I like daily budget because it's far more control. Now, what you can do is you can set the ads to run continuously, or you can set the dates to end at a period of time. You can select ads to run all day, or you can align them with some specific criteria. Let's say you don't want to run ads in the middle of the night. You can run 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. to match your business hours. And then finally, you have bidding and optimization. But you can choose between click or landing page view in this particular strategy for traffic. And you can have a cost cap or a maximum delivery. So maximum delivery says just get me as much activity as I can for the budget I have. A cost cap means I don't want to pay more than $1 for the click, for example. When you look at click versus landing page, this is closer to the activity you're looking for, so we tend to choose landing page, but you might change this. All right, so let's click next. So when you're developing ads, you have a few different options on how you want to set this up. So number one, you can use a custom identity. Literally, you can upload an image file for your logo, and you can type in a name. So you can say anything. Certainly you don't want to impersonate a brand or a person. So for me, it was Brill. It just shows up here, Brill, and you can upload this image and it shows up as the logo. Alternatively, you can select a Spark ad, which is a piece of content you've already posted to TikTok that you are going to run as an ad. So let's continue on with setting a custom identity so you don't have to be actually connected to any ad account. So you can upload a video, and here are the specifications: no more than 500 megabytes of file size. These are vertical videos, as it may be no surprise to you. Or you can use the creation library to create an ad, but usually you want to do this in some other tools such as Premiere Pro or Adobe Rush or even Canva or CapCut or something else. So you upload the file and then you write the ad text. So the ad text says, start with Brill Media today. This is the video that I've uploaded or I've selected from the library. And then you customize the call to action. So dynamic means it's just TikTok is going to cycle through all the different types of calls to action to see which is most likely to get people to click. I don't like this too much because like join game now, play game now, register today are not particularly applicable to our business, but you might get better performance. What I typically do is click on standard and select like contact us, something like that. And then finally, you enter the URL. And then finally, you want to ensure that the URL actually works. So click the preview so you ensure you typed it in correctly. That's the way you upload a video that is not connected to an actual TikTok account. Now, the next step is if you want to use a video from an actual TikTok account. So the videos that you upload in the ads manager to run as an ad have to be less than a minute long. Now, for videos that are longer than 1 minute, you could upload them to your TikTok account and use them as a Spark ad. So this is what a Spark ad looks like. This is the Brill Media ad account. I can select a TikTok post. And as you can see, this one is 4 minutes and 21 seconds, and I can select it. The text in the ad, in the content overlaps on the text in the ad, and that's not a good experience. You'd want to pay attention to how that ad actually looks. The upside to using a Spark ad is the likes, comments, shares that are generated from the ad live within the TikTok post. So it increases ad engagement. And the other upside is you can run ads as long that's allowed in your TikTok account. So for my account, it's up to 10 minutes. So that's good. You can run more than a minute of content. This would not be great ad content for this particular post. So what I would do is, if I want to run this as an ad, I would change the text to move it to a different part on the video. And then the second thing I would do is upload it with text that is more suitable for advertising, because this isn't really that suitable. All right. So then again, you upload the URL, you preview the page, and then you select your pixels. So you want to select the pixel that is on your site that is going to track conversion activity back to your ads. All right. So then we click submit, and then the ad is going to get approved, and then the advertising is going to run. The next step is, let's look at events and pixels. So we're going to go to tools and events. I can see pixels that have been already placed. And this tells you everything that's happening with your pixel data, like Google Analytics, but specifically for TikTok. You can see forms that were generated, total events. So events are going to be the total number of fires from all sources. These are going to be page view. Every time a page is loaded, the pixel will fire. These are the number of leads that have been generated for whatever period of time we're looking at. And you have a general flow of data. So let's talk about how to create a pixel. Set up web events. You can go the route of setting it up with Google Tag Manager or Shopify, or you can do it manually. So let's do it manually. Brill test 2023. Click next. Then you're going to track the activity that you want to track as well. So for example, for Brill Media, lead form is going to be a conversion, and you can, let's say that's the only thing that's interesting to me. Or if you're a retailer, you can say add to cart is consideration. It's up to you, right? Like you can say adding payment info is consideration, and you can say purchase or place an order is conversion, okay? And these are templates that might be relevant for you as well. Recruitment, pre-order, submission, application, and then commerce. Great. So then let's click to next. And there's a few ways you can turn this on. So let's go back and use custom code, and you can view instructions. So basically what you're doing here is you're going into the back end of your website, you're taking this pixel code and you are reviewing it and placing it on your website. You might need a developer for this. And also, by the way, I recommend turning on advanced matching for better visibility for TikTok. All right, let's go back and do this different way. So I'm going to click on partner setup this time. And let's say we want to place this with Google Tag Manager. So this is where it takes you to your Google Tag Manager. By connecting this, you will be able to control all of your pixels in Google Tag Manager. If you're not sure how to do that, look for a video about turning on pixels with the Google Tag Manager. There's two fundamental things you should know. Number one, the JavaScript or universal pixel has to live across your website. And then you have individual events that get fired on purchase or add to cart or add payment options. And if you need help with that, we have ad operations experts who know this stuff inside and out and can certainly help you with it. The next thing we want to look at is creating a custom audience. So the custom audience is going to be people who are visiting your website and being able to segment them out based on the activity on your website. So for example, let's look at lead submission, so submit form. So we want to target people who submitted their lead information to us in the last 180 days. We're going to select the Brill 2021 pixel. And this is basically very straightforward. So now I can, for example, remarket to these people. Or I can say anytime a user has visited the website, I want them to be able to be targetable with our ads. So it's the page view. And let's say it's a bigger audience the last 30 days. Okay. And there's a few things you can do that we've done in the past. So for example, people who have viewed our video ads from our mid campaigns in the last 30 days, if they've seen 100% of our ad in the last 30 days, and this one, for example, says we're targeting people who have viewed 2 seconds of the ad in the last 7 days from our middle of funnel campaigns. So there's a lot of ways to create this. And here's like the menu options for it. So one way of looking at it would be to say any of my ad groups that I want to serve ads, that I've served ads from recently, I want to serve ads to people in the future based on people who have watched 50% of my video ads in the last 7 days. That's another way of looking at this. All right, so for B2B advertisers who are running lead generation campaigns, you'll want to go to Tools and Instant Page, and that's where you have your lead form. So here's an example of a lead form. So this lead form gets completely customized. We're asking for the name, email, and phone number of the user seeing our ad. You can see this information up here. And then we ask some additional information. This was a while ago that we ran these ads. The user reviews information and then they submit. And then we get their information in TikTok, or it can be connected directly into our CRM like HubSpot or Salesforce or Zoho. And then they can click learn more to to click to a landing page that you program in. So this is good for when you don't want to drive people to your landing page and you want to keep people in TikTok so it's easier for them to share information through your campaign. And you can see here, if I click on the create button, we click on instant form, classic form, or advanced, and you have the ability to set up a campaign or set up the lead form. So more volume basically means you're going to ask fewer questions and fewer custom questions, and higher intent means you're going to ask more questions or more custom questions. You're going to get fewer people, but in theory, they should be higher quality. You can add imagery, you can add your questions, you can add additional custom questions like personal information. You can ask for, let's see, contact info, work information, etc. Link to your privacy policy. So this is a good way to keep people on TikTok so that they can share information with you. Now, finally, we're going to go back and we're going to take a look at the nuances on setting up a conversion campaign for lead generation or sales. So now let's take a look at a campaign set up for lead generation or sales. Click on lead generation, click on continue. The difference here is instead of driving people to your website, you're driving to an instant form. Now, you can drive people to your website, and you're telling TikTok to track people when the submission page has been reached. So usually there's a lead page, right, where they fill out the information. Then there's a thank you page or a pop-up comes up. So when one of those two actions has been filled, then TikTok will know that it has accomplished generating a lead for your business. Let's say instant form, target your audience, set your budget, click on next. And again, you have the ability to load up the ad that's relevant for you either by uploading a video or choosing a video that you've already uploaded. And the only difference is that the call to action at the bottom here will pop that lead form. Now I'm going to cancel this. I'll create another campaign and I'll select website conversion, which could be good for sales, e-commerce. You're selecting your TikTok pixel so that when people go to the purchase thank you page, the pixel knows that it has delivered a sale and it's attributable back to your advertising campaign. So that's the only thing that's different here. Let's continue on, but that's the only thing that's different. So this doesn't work for me right now because our campaigns are focused on lead generation. So I would have to use that other objective, lead generation, to track a campaign to the website optimized to submit form. So let's pretend this says purchase. Click on next, set all your targeting parameters. And again, you have the opportunity to select your call to action, upload your ad, and continue on. So the last thing I want to show you is turning on smart targeting. And smart targeting basically uses the TikTok algorithm to find people that will take the action that's desired, so generate a lead or a sale. We're going to target those people even if it's outside the targeting parameters that you have deployed. So for example, let's say I'm targeting everyone in the United States, but I'm interested in people who are interested in education. So I have this option here, smart targeting. It'll improve performance by expanding the audience. And you just click it and you've selected smart targeting. And that concludes the TikTok advertising setup. If you found this helpful, please let us know. If you have any questions, also please let us know. We do digital advertising for a living at Brill Media. If you need help, need to grow your business with TikTok advertising, reach out to us. Talk to you soon.